Williams. Mr. Williams, good morning. Mr. Williams, you're here for first appearance, charged with burglary with structure and grand theft. Mr. Williams, there is probable cause for these charges. You've been on state probation for about a month. I think you've been to prison maybe 8 or 9 times. Someone set you a bond, Mr. Williams. Is that not right? Yes, sir. Go ahead, Mr. Williams. 4 times.
No, you said
I
8
think
or 9
right.
times.
I think it shows 4 or 5. And some of them you went for multiple charges. So that DOC website, sometimes it's a little unclear. So I think on the charge line, it may have had 9, but on the number of times, I think you're right.
How dare you, Judge? I've only been in prison 4 times by my count.
I got a C level, Mr. Mercer.
You got a what?
A C level. So that's 4 times.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So that makes sense. You're talking about your DOC number, right?
I'm just time and time to been in prison 4.
And every time you go, it changes the DOC number, right?
It changed to
okay.
They don't never offer
that
me
makes
no
sense.
help. I can't get no help.
Mr. Williams, I'm not really sure how you got probation to begin with your history. The last charge was on video. And
I always go to prison, Mr. Mercer. They always send me to prison. I don't know why.
This is Alyssa's fault, and the next one is Rocky's fault.
I ain't got my 19 points. They always send me to prison.
Yeah, maybe not long enough then. Maybe that's the problem. So your bond's going to be $25,000 in each of these charges. Don't try to post it. I'm going to hold you because it appears you violated your probation within a month of being placed on probation. So you've got no bond. You got to quit talking while I'm talking. We can't hear each other when we do that.
I really like maybe not long enough. That seems to be the problem. From my perspective, sitting here on the bench, I think them letting you out is the only problem we have.
You've got no bond for 10 days and $50,000 bond on the 2 charges you're accused of. Do you have any questions, sir?
Oh,
Have a good day.
I already know that. They always send prison forever.
25. Anthony Candelaria. Mr. Candelaria, good morning. You're here for first appearance accused of possession of new or legend drugs without a prescription, aggravated battery, possession of methamphetamine, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Mr. Candelaria, there is probable cause for all of those charges. Your criminal history is not bad, but due to the number and nature of the charges, you're not a conditional release candidate. I'm going to set you a bond. Let me see if the attorneys have any additional information before I set that bond. Mr. McDaniel, anything?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Jeffcoat?
Nothing further.
And Mr. Candelaria, I'm going to set you the following bonds. I believe that new or legend drug without a prescription is just a misdemeanor. It's going to have a $2,500 bond. The aggravated battery is a 2nd-degree felony. That bond's going to be $25,000. Methamphetamine is a 3rd-degree felony. That'll be a $5,000 bond. And the paraphernalia is a misdemeanor, $2,500 bond. Mr. Candelaria, when you add those together, your total bond is $35,000 cash or surety. You have a condition with no contact with the alleged victim on the aggravated battery, and you have a condition of random urinalysis. That means if you go through bonds, and if they charge you 10%, that'd be $3,500, but they may charge you less than that. Mr. Candelaria, you're going to get to
The best part here is the defendant's argument. It's just deliciously awful. It goes nowhere. It doesn't make sense. And it's bad on all levels.
use the phone in just a few minutes, sir. Do you have any questions?
Yes. Wait. How is I get all these other charges? Where do these other charges come from? When they arrest
Which
Well, you keep committing crime and getting caught for it because you're not very good at it. And then the state charges you, and then you end up in front of me with cuffs on.
charge you referring to? And I'll try to answer that question.
They only had the drugs and stuff that I was holding.
The aggravated battery is allegedly striking Miss Crenshaw was a co-defendant, allegedly striking Miss Crenshaw with some type of wooden, I believe it's a wooding part to a bedpost. That was that one. The allegation, I'm just telling you the allegations. The newer legend drug was a medication that you do. It's not a controlled substance, but it's a medication called buspirone hydrochloride that allegedly was in your possession or in the area that you had control over. The methamphetamine.
I help her take her medicine. She takes those medicines. I
Yeah,
never do.
the methamphetamine.
Judge, he's a hero. He's helping her get her medications. That's the best. It's so good.
You can't have a prescription methamphetamine. It's just illegal, period. And you're accused of being in possession of that. And the paraphernalia was the. I'm not going to try to answer your question and we talk at the same time. That's not the way two people communicate. So I'll answer your question, and then if you have another question, please feel free to answer it. So do you have any questions about what you're accused of?
Yeah,
Mr. Candelaria,
Okay.
when he asks you if you have a question, he's not asking you, do you agree with being charged with these things? You're trying to argue that say you don't agree with being charged.
yeah, I know.
That's not
but
going
I'm
to work.
asking-
It's
but
John
I'm not-
William, Public Defender's
I'm
Office.
saying
You're
that. Not saying
you're
that.
being
I'm saying,
recorded.
where did it, how did it even get there? I didn't have what? When I got arrested, they said this is what we're going to take you for. And then now I come here, it's different.
If that's what you're accused of, you'll get a copy of the complaint in the very near future. But in the meantime, you have the right to post the bond, sir. You'll get to use the phone shortly, okay? Have a good day. Corporal Jones, I believe that takes care of everybody we had on the first appearance list. Did I miss anybody?
No, sir, that's everything.
We have to go back to work.
Oh, buckle up.
Okay. I was like, return to the main room. Wait, what? Hi, Ms. Peters, Ms. Kamari. We're just waiting
The pearl clutchers are going to go crazy. Yes, I'm aware there may be a mental health issue here. That's clear. But it is interesting.
for the prosecutor. And there's Mr. McClellan, right? So, Ms. Kamari, we're ready to go forward.
Hold on. I'm completing out a form right now to email to the court.
All right. I'll wait on that.
Before we get started, let's go, Camilla Harris. I heard it was over 40 million in one night. Let's go. Sorry. For the justice of the country.
Yeah, thank you for that. Oh, you need the awkward pause. Trust me. Creates the tension release situation we need.
I plead the fifth on that.
So, Ms. Peters, you think I'm talking to you? Yeah.
Before we start, while Ms. Kamir is finishing her thing, it's just a nice something that I want to be able to say that's on the record, but not completely on the record at the moment.
So, Ms. Teeters, I would recommend that you don't say anything to the court right now.
Thank you for your recommendation, but you are only an attorney. Thank you. Please finish up your document so we may proceed.
She's a real attorney. I really depend on her. So yeah, I think you can too. It's a good advice.
Attorneys are wonderful, but lawyers that I'm
The only good advice she gets this whole time. And then she has to insult the attorney. I don't know. An attorney is a new one for me.
really good friends with, and then I've helped study, while they actually were getting their degree, something of such great value, and I want to make sure
Oh yeah, Judge. I've helped a lot of people get through law school. Okay.
that it's on record, especially with what's been going on in the last 24 hours on my side of the world, and Mr. McLeanan is here. Yeah, I wanted to take the moment to say something on the record, but not completely on the record.
Well, you're always on the record. The whole world's watching. We're on YouTube and recording. So you're never off the record. Just so you know.
That's only YouTube. It can be altered and photoshopped.
Or we can just run it as is.
I'm almost done here now.
Okay.
I was referring to the whole who's the current president of the United States, how a man who is a criminal and going through his own criminal high Supreme Court hearings is demanding that he should be president. But the rightful current president is being harassed, and how she got donations to continue her campaign, and how the whole legislation and how the whole government is actually ran. That a shit show circus clown can't overthrow the original founding fathers ruling.
Your Honor, I sent that to the clerk.
Okay.
That's a great response for that.
And you'll print it out when you get it. Okay.
I'm not running for president. I'm trying to just be able to move through town properly and be able to open up my bank accounts and stop being told I'm trespassing when I know I own the land. It went from Edwina to any three of my first legal first names and my last name, Teeters, Teeters.
It's about. Okay. All right. So, Ms. Kamari, then your request is that I have someone from Western State Hospital come talk with Ms. Teeters, make sure that she is or isn't able to be prosecuted.
Yes, Your Honor, I am requesting.
I need actual proof of something that I was trespassing.
Ms. Teeters, I will talk to you. Just give me a chance to talk to Ms. Kamari first, okay? One person at a time is really helpful. So, Ms. Kamari?
Your Honor, we are requesting that this evaluation occur out of custody. And so I do believe that the evaluation is necessary based on my interactions with Ms. Teeters. And for the record, we'd like to enter a plea of not guilty. And then I would ask that the arraignment, that Pacific Point defense be appointed in the meantime until after the evaluation.
That's a pretty good imitation of an attorney for an unattorney. I'm just saying.
Okay. So, Ms. Teeters, that's the request from your attorney. I'm going to hear from the prosecuting attorney as well, Mr. McClellan.
Well, I'll note the city was intending to recommend her being released without a lot of history and the facts of the case. So I don't know that I would change my recommendation of it other than acknowledging that the process is going to be, quite lengthy, but, I think if she can comply with the conditions out in the community, then I just ask that she be released with conditions not to commit law violations, no contact with Mod Pizza in Lacey.
No objections.
Right.
I will never return to the city of Lacey.
Well, we need you to come back to court is the issue. So, Ms. Teeters, I think I've gotten your political point of view, and that's understandable. But the question is, 2 months ago you were in Des Moines, and they found you were just fine. And so today the question is, are you?
If I show up in person, is it within the city limits of Lacey?
Okay, that's interesting. I didn't catch it the first time. So they said 2 months ago they found she was just fine. So is this a medication issue, do you think? I don't know.
Well, you're at the district court, and so it's in Olympia, so you have to be at the district court. And
That's
so
fine. I agree to never return to the actual current city limits of Lacey.
I'm not ordering that. I'm not ordering that.
As for release and as per McLeanan,
Well,
I follow law. And if
Ms.
Lacey
Teeter,
doesn't want me to return,
Ms.
I will
Teeter,
not.
let me ask you some questions so I can make a better decision here. So, do you know what you're charged with?
No, they gave me a verbal
Okay.
and chased me through town for over an hour.
Okay, who was that?
The police force at the time, over 6 different police officers took turns. They literally stood behind corners and said, okay, now it's your turn. Go chase her. Keep her going. She's fine where she's standing. But if she goes 3 more feet in front of her, then we can say she's trespassing again. Literally.
Okay.
It was, what the?
All right, so criminal trespass in the second degree, that's what you're charged with, alleged from the Mod Pizza there in Lacey.
Mod,
Does-
I walked in and I was supposed to be chaperoning a date, and their father and mother was actually outside, and they didn't feel comfortable enough leaving the
told you I
whole
can make it
situation
worse.
until I put the napkins down on the floor. The things thrown from my hand was actually a police officer that flung them up from my hand, and Mod Pizza only had one working door. Both doors weren't working. The doors next to the bathroom were actually locked.
So, all right, so then you say that,
No previous
say
trespassing.
that police chased you out of the Mod Pizza and then for about an hour chased you through
No, I
town?
didn't say that. I said from the tire shop for about an hour, under an hour, they chased me through the town.
Okay,
And then inside the Mod Pizza, they flung the items that I had in my hand, they flung them up out of my hands to where they ended up all over the floor. And the Mod Pizza actually has a fire safety hazard because only one set of doors work when they have open fire. They cook in a kindling.
so
I-
let me ask you, where are you living when you're not in the city of Lacey? Where are you living?
Not in the city of Lacey.
Okay, but where do you live?
Give out my public address whatsoever for my own.
Okay,
My
do you live, what city? What
My
city are you
husband was
living in?
just recently found beheaded in Kailua Kona. I do not give out my address. Yes, my husband. I am a widow. My husband was found beheaded. I do not give out my address.
So you're living in Washington somewhere.
Correct.
Okay, and you have a place to call home and receive
In fairness, it would only take one beheading in my family before I wouldn't give out my address too.
mail.
I do not give out my address.
I'm not asking that, but you have a place to call home and to receive mail?
I purposely do not have a mailing address currently at this time, and I purposely do not give out my home address. I hardly ever go home because I don't want
Can I
anyone to.
All right, can I ask you a question then too? Have you ever had any kind of diagnosis from a doctor as to a mental health issue?
Not recently, just of PTSD.
Okay. And that was in the last 10 or so years?
Yes.
Okay,
Especially during and after my temporary restraining order request through the courts, which was found not needed, and custody of the children were left exactly how it was as soon as the court proceeding started.
okay. All right, that was, is that Pierce County, it looks like?
No. Hawaii. Hilo, Hawaii.
So you've been in Washington for how long? About 10 years?
I came back from being a missing person April 1st. My plane ticket, they wrote down that I came back March 24th to try and give me time to get away. Since I wanted to come back to the mainland, they wanted to allow me time and just say, oh, oops, it's just an airplane ticket anyways.
So get away from Hawaii from the person there that you wanted not to know where you are?
Because they knew and understood the dangers that was going on up here.
And who's they?
On the island of Hawaii, they said, we know you're not a missing person. I don't know why or how they were able to put through that you were a missing person from Washington and somehow out of Hilo. They must have paid someone to be able to put out that missing person report.
I think it's crystal clear, Alyssa. I don't know what part of this you don't understand.
Know who they, who's they?
To today's hearing, I literally have not been in Washington State this time for more than a year.
Okay. Who's they in Hawaii? Keep talking about they, and I don't know who they are.
I am not obligated to give names, Your Honor.
Okay, is it the government or the airlines or what is it? Who's they?
I don't know, who are you?
So,
Yeah, I got you there, Judge, huh? Who's anybody, really?
Ms. Teeters, then we're gonna release you. I'm gonna hand you a court date. That's the only notice you'll get, as we don't have a mailing address for you.
I think at this point she means she's going to release her into the wild. Let's carry on.
So you're gonna have to remember it and hang on to it.
That's perfect. That's another thing. Someone is spreading so many rumors and public defamation and propaganda about me. Supposedly, as soon as I take a nap, I won't remember. So, oh wait, that's right. I was trespassing on my own home that a black mail order husband said his name was Edwina, something of Kent. But oh wait, Edwina is who? Trisha Ann Teeters or Kuipo Ann Leellen Teeters or just maybe Elizabeth Teeters. That's it.
So let me ask Mr. McClellan, has there been fingerprinting done? And if not, I would
yeah.
ask that they do that, make sure that
Yeah,
we've got the right person.
Yeah, I think they typically do. I don't have records of
Has been
check
actually
with them.
under my social security number. Remember, I have two names under the same social security number, and under my Native American name, I have two names as well, legally.
Okay, and that's just what we're trying to piece together here. All right, so if you could be sure of that, Mr. McClellan, where she leaves custody. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is set another date.
Your pension, your paycheck, Judge Wilcox, not anyone else.
And what do you mean by that?
Anyways, no trespassing, furthering this court. We have a piece of paper to give me the court hearing. Thank you.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, the whole courtroom. I
Okay,
love this conversation. Now I'm supposed to be the criminal, so fuck this shit. Let's go.
so I'll ask you, try not to swear. Do what you can not to swear. I know some people's way of speaking is swearing, but I'm going to ask you to work real hard not to do that.
Real great, huh? Look. My face, they've been chasing me around, not letting me eat, not letting me sleep. They beat me in my sleep out here in real life. Ooh, stay safe in your houses, bruh. Ugh.
Okay, so we're going to set a court date a little ways out, January 7th of next year, 2025. You'll be back in Thurston County District Court, which is in Olympia, so you don't have to go to Lacey. And that's up to you if you go to Lacey. I'm not saying you can't go there. Just don't go back to the Mod Pizza. All right.
It's like a $500 fine if I miss it anyways, right?
No, you might be sitting in jail again if you miss the court date.
Well, next January, I plan to be in South America. So great, wonderful, let's go. I'll see you then in January. Yes, please have that paper printed. Thank you, have a
So are
great
you
day.
gonna come to court in January? Are you gonna come to court in January? Or are you gonna take off?
If I'm in the country, I'm scheduled not to be here, but let's continue on with the day. You purposely
that
set-
doesn't,
you
that
purposely
doesn't give
set
me
the
a
court
whole
date
lot of,
as far as you could.
So instead, I think we're gonna hold Ms. Teeters until we can have an evaluation. I'm setting the court
That,
the first.
yes, I know I can talk to my attorney, and if you want me there, and
Yes, you think so, Judge. I'm surprised. I really like this judge. I think she's very good. She's very smooth, super nice, knows what she's doing. But in this particular circumstance, can't believe that she ever contemplated anything other than holding her until she's evaluated. But we finally arrived there.
and I continue on with my daily planner, that I should be visiting in Rio for a very special birthday in January, especially middle end of January.
We'll just set another court date, October 1st at
What?
1:30 exactly for an in-custody evaluation. That would be better and more assured, given the statements today. So I'm editing my order. So we'll be sure to be back October 1st. Of course, Ms. Kamari, if something happens sooner, let us know.
October 1st sounds wonderful, much better than January. That's way too far out for a supposed trespassing order, ma'am.
So we'll be back on the 1st, if not before then.
Wonderful.
All right, that's all for today. Ms. Teeters, we'll see you on the 1st.
Thank you. Oh, are you putting in the order for my release or transport to a different facility by chance?
No, I'm putting in an order for the evaluator to come talk to you in custody, and then we'll talk after that.
She was about to, but you didn't listen to your own attorney.
And that's it for today, Ms. Teeters. See you at the 1st.
Of KCSO Teeters. We'll be making sure KCSO Sergeant of Seattle will be talking to you. Have a nice day.
Uh-oh, the Sergeant of Seattle. Things are getting real.
So long.
Almost,
Toodles,
she's
Teeter.
thinking about it.
No, we're done. Thanks.
All right, all done.
Come on, Peter. No, don't touch the computer. Let's go. No.
Ending the call.
You?
Presents. All right, so if anything happens before the 1st,
Okay, so I didn't catch it the first time, but halfway through that hearing, saying that she was recently evaluated like a couple months ago and they found her competent. Or whatever. That was the implication. So I think this has got to be a meds issue, either off meds or on drugs. But I have no idea. The other thing is, yeah, she has a lot of sort of paranoid delusions, it appears. I know nothing about such things, but that's what appears to me as a layperson. She seems to have a lot of paranoia, among other things. But she is very directed in trying to be insulting. It's not random word salad. She is trying to insult her attorney. She is trying to insult the judge. That's directed and consistent. So I don't think she's completely gone.
you let me know and we can get things on sooner, or let the court know. Just for view.
Court does call the case of the people versus you.
All right. This is just kind of a happy little one. This is just a palate cleanser after that, which was interesting, but a little much.
And Herrera Castillo.
Good afternoon, hello. Judge, I have a little bit of a sob story to tell you. I hope you're, well, it's a short story.
Okay, go for it.
Mr. Castillo at my office, the person who I was with, I told him, you just retained me, I was gonna ask for an adjournment. Somehow the translation got that we got an adjournment, and I've tried all morning to get over this guy, I just can't do it, and I'm wondering would you be gracious enough to give me an adjournment until that's possible? someday around here.
So, hold on, let me get this right. You're in your office.
Yes,
You have somebody that speaks Spanish in your office?
yes.
And so somehow, go ahead. No.
Somehow, I requested it, I was gonna ask for a request for adjournment, so we could go over the, it was really slow going with the police report, so we were gonna need more time. So somehow it got translated that I got the adjournment. He's not here. That's the bottom line.
By the way, this is plausible. This is my life. Sitting in the conference room with Yesenia. We go for 20 minutes. There's a pause in the conversation. You think you're done. You think you're done. And then you hear, entonces. And you're off to the races again.
And you may be considerate, understanding judge. I was hoping you were ready to adjournment of tonight. I couldn't get on Zoom. Your passcode kept saying it was incorrect.
Mr. Kilwell, I almost want to take a vote. Who believes that?
Anybody that says.
Oh, you got a fan back there. She was like, she says, yeah, I believe that. I see how that can happen. I don't know how she knows that, but.
You didn't change your password, but your password
She's probably on the payrolls, my guess.
wouldn't work, so I don't know what's going on. Just having a rough day, Joe. About 6:00 when I get there. So it's gonna be a good day.
Okay. All right, Mr. Kilwell. I've known you for a long time, and I'll just say, I believe you. I don't think you'd come in here because you could have made a simpler story. That one.
That went everywhere.
Yeah, it did. So, okay.
That attorney is charming too. I love the old timers when they come in front of Judge Simpson because it's always fun. Kilwaltz, I mean, he does. He gets rough clients, and he goes, but after all that, he's like, yeah, that story went everywhere. I admit that wasn't great.
How much time do you need, Mr. Kilwell, to get the translation right?
The way we were going the first meeting, I'd like to ask for a couple of years, but that means it was like pulling teeth. But
What about October 16th?
that would be great, Judge.
October 16th, 2024, 9 a.m. as your invite indicates.
Judge, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kilwell. Only because you got your way.
Judge, for the record, Judge, I filed my appearance in the state of Michigan. I didn't realize it was a Pittsfield Township case, so I'd like to just state that for the record.
Okay, very good. We got it.
Well, there you have it. Just to end on a happy note. The one before it was a little intense. You know you're dealing with an old timer at this point, like me. Let's be honest. If you see the physical book come out with a pen, everyone else in court and everywhere else is pulling out their phone for the past 20 years. If you're still reaching for the pad and paper, you're a dinosaur. Oh yeah, I go pad and paper. I do. I can't navigate electronics fast enough in court. I chicken scratch, and then when I sit down, I text my chicken scratch to Yesenia, and then it all gets translated into this century. That's my method. Sometimes I'll actually type it, but usually a lot of times I'll just take a picture of it. I can't even read it. I can't read my own writing. Yesenia can. I'll just take a picture of it and send her the photo. I don't know what she does. I think she calls opposing counsel and says what happened. Confessions of a bad boss. Oh yeah. It all happens here on Law Talk with Mike. Thank you all for coming out. That's what I got. I'll see you soon.